Hi, welcome to another edition of the Carpenter Shop, where in that shop we grow and we become a little bit more into that person that God has created us to be. Today I want to read you a passage of Scripture, actually a verse out of Revelation 1, verse 18 out of the NIV. It says this: I was dead and now look, I'm alive forever and ever. British pastor Richard Booz said, during the years before Jesus arrived on earth, the world's greatest philosophers had debated the issues of life and death. And then came the message of the resurrection of Jesus. He wrote in his book called The Resurrection, Fact or Fiction. I quote, if it had been simply a whispered legend of some unknown person living in Palestine, it might have remained an interesting after-dinner topic of conversation for a while. But here was far more than a story in an ancient book. People were completely transformed in their outlook. The personality of Christ blazed out in their conviction, and they were ready to die for their unshakable confidence in the message of Christ, crucified now and alive forever. There is no way to overestimate the joy, the praise, the worship, and the adoration, and the floods that our lives have experienced with all of those things because of who Jesus is and what He has done. Because of His resurrection, we can worship Him. Because of His resurrection, we have life. Prior to His coming, life and death were looked at in different terms. After He arrived and came back to life, the Bible teaches us that Satan was defeated, death had lost its sting. And now life can be experienced at a different level, a level that reminds us that we are living the eternal in the here and now if you're a follower of God. Think about that. The amazing opportunity that we have to know that we are just taking another step today through the eternity that Jesus has planned for us. And there'll come a day that, sure, we quit breathing, but in that moment we just take one more step and we're in His presence. As a follower, life is good. Allow that goodness to change the way that you view the world around you, and allow that goodness to change the way that you share His love with others. If you do, you will discover that you are touching and changing the world, but as you're touching and changing the world, you're growing deeper, just a little bit deeper each day, because you're discovering the joy of living in that complete dependence and trust upon being a follower of Christ. That's the lesson for today in Carpenter Shop. I look forward to joining you next time.